you've been driven by this car as a student, for you it was a school van. If you've been driven by this car from home to hospital, maybe you aren't feeling well, for you it was an ambulance. And of course, if goods have been delivered to your place, maybe you have shipped some things from America and actually to your doorstep, they were brought by this particular van, for you it was a cargo van. These cars are used for different various purposes. For me, it has been the public transportation business, matatus from town to home or from home to town. And of course, they are famously called the Toyota Hiace. Where did they come from and why have they really conquered the Kenyan market? From school van to church van to football van teams to public transportation business or even cargo transportation. So today we want to give you the deep down history of all these vans and where they actually really originated from, because they come in different streams. We have petrol, diesel, 9L, 7L, based on the capacity of the people it can hold on the interior. If it is a PSV, the public transportation vehicle. And of course, we have others which are high roof and which are low roof. Like this particular one here has a higher roof and it is a 9L high roof. Has a capacity of holding up to 18 good people. And this particular one here is a low roof. 7L has a capacity of holding up to 14 good people. When did these vans start dominating the Kenyan market? And why have they been loved over the years? You know, in Kenya, not in Kenya. You know, in Japan, these vans are actually nicknamed the vans that never die, because the owner of the van will retire even before the van does. So let's find it together, the story behind the famously known Toyota Hiace. Let's go to Japan. Where did the word Toyota Hiace come from? So it means high and ace. It means something higher that has so much durability and performance at the same time. So in 1967, that is the first year that Toyota in Japan, the Toyota car production company, came up with the first model of the Toyota Hiace, where they actually thought of an idea of where they can actually build a van that can ferry people effectively, and at the same time the car can be multifunction. It can move goods from one place to another. And of course, if you still want to move people in the same car, it can actually also still make that happen. So since then, in 1967 till now, we have had 6 generations of the Toyota Hiace. And of course, today we are going to be talking about them one by one, from the first generation to the 6th generation that we have today of the Toyota 10L that actually just came just the other day. So let's find it together. From the first generation of the Toyota Hiace, the first one that was actually ever produced was called the H10. Till to today, that we have the one called the H300. And of course, the difference between the H10 and the H300, we have had 6 good generations that are actually produced over the years. And of course, either of them, as it got actually improved every other year, they actually worked on something that can be very durable, reliable, and at the same time give power while on the road, either while ferrying people or ferrying cargo at the same time. Then boom, all over in 1997, that is when the first diesel engine of the Toyota Hiace was ever actually produced, because over the years they actually did the petrol engine, but in 1997 they decided to give a diesel engine a trial. Then what followed after that? Then in 1989, that is when they actually produced the H100. That is the boxy kind of a look of the Toyota Hiace that you guys have really loved over the years. And that one has been said that it is to be one of the most loved body types of the Toyota Hiace, and have actually maintained that over the years. From the H100, that is in 1989. Then boom, in 2005 they actually discovered the common rail engine. Yes, what are the common rail engines? We have the 2KD and the 1KD. I know you have heard these cars have different engines. Previously they used an engine called the 1TR, 2TR, or even the 3TR. And then in 2005 they actually discovered an engine both on the petrol side and the diesel side, the common rail engines, that is the 1KD and the 2KD. Then in 2019, they actually come up now with a van that gives you comfort, performance, and safety at the same time, because the car is all around covered with some really good airbags at the same time. Safety, that is the airbags. Performance, the engine, of course, over the years have given us even engine that has a bi-turbo and on the cars. So definitely that has been the evolution from all the 6 generations of the Toyota Hiace. So let's find it together. What happens next? First, the Toyota Hiace was introduced in Africa in the early 1980s. that is when first the Toyota Hiace landed in Africa. And for sure, it was actually being used to ferry people from point A to point B, rather than later on people realize, oh, this car can actually be a school van, it can be a church van, it can be a football team van, it can do all manner of things, and to add it on top, it can actually still ferry goods. So the love for Kenyans actually it really spiked up for this particular car for this instance, the Toyota Hiace, because first of all it was very reliable, and of course people knew if they got inside it would get them there no matter what. And for sure it was easy to fix based on its reliability. The mechanics knew how to fix the car. It was not too much complicated, and the spare parts were also readily available. The market demand spiked up till as we speak today. The Toyota Hiace has been sold over 2 million copies globally, 2 million. And for sure, not only Kenya is actually using the Toyota Hiace. We have Tanzania, we have South Africa, we have Uganda, we have Namibia, we have Zambia. African countries have actually embraced this Japan unit of the Toyota Hiace, and they've actually given it many names. And of course other people call it, like in Kenya we call it the Mat3. In other countries they might call it an ambulance based on what it actually does. So on what it does, it's crowned a name to that. It's an ambulance, it's a school van, it's a church van, it's a football foundation van, whatever you may want to call it. It has been very reliable, and over the years it has been loved in Kenya for all the generations. And as they continue to progress and to bring more modernized versions of the Toyota Hiace, the more people get to love it, because it always comes with something better than the previous one to offer. And to the elephant in the room, people have asking, what kind of models do you get when you get to, looking around in the market of buying a Toyota Hiace? It all depends with the work that you want to use the car for. Other people buy the 9L that has a capacity of holding up to 18 good people, which one is this particular one here, and it is the biggest of all. This is a 9L high roof. We have a 9L short chase low roof. That one has a capacity of holding up to 16 good people, just in case you want to use it for the PSV purpose of ferrying people. We have others called the 7Ls, just like this particular ones right over here. They have a capacity of holding up to 14 good people. So this is the smallest trim of the 7L as we speak, as at now. It is a 7L, capacity of holding up to 14 good people. But you can get this particular one here, still a 7L but high roof. It has a higher roof. I'll show you, it's actually right over there. You can actually still get that particular one here. So that is what you get. You get a 9L short chase, that is a 16-seater, 9L high roof, that's an 18-seater, 7L low roof 14-seater, or 7L high roof, that's a 14-seater as well. Depending on what you want to use the car for, depends on what you want to take. For the cargos, for the school vans, for the cars that ferry people prefer the bigger high roofs because of the spacings on the air, because of the air circulations of you being ferried inside that particular unit. But of course that has been it. So what comes next after now? You get the mods and the models of the Toyota Hiace. You get the engines from this particular unit, not at the bonnet, but of course at the sitting area of this particular cars. So these cars come with different trims of engines. We have petrol engines and diesel engines. But for now, for a matter of fact, people have considered going for the diesel engines because of their reliability, their strength, and of course, when it comes to fuel consumption, it is very well, people actually can rely. It's very reliable, right? So we have 2.5 diesel engines, and then we have 3-liter diesel turbo engines. So there we have the kind of engines that are called the 2KD or the 1KD. Like this particular one here, this is a 1TR engine. This is not a common rail engine. So basically nowadays the ones that people mostly consider the most are the 1KDs or the 2KDs. And of course the consumption of this particular unit is from around 10 to 13 to 15 kilometers per liter on the diesel engines. That is what you get. And then from around the horsepower, you get from around 100 to 150 horsepower. So these cars have been loved over the years, and the engines have been known for their immense reliability. But for the diesel engines, they usually say once the, what do we call them, the nozzles, they start to misbehave, you'll definitely need to do the service regularly, because one nozzle is actually very expensive. And for matter of fact, if it's a diesel engine, the maintenance cost comes high because the fueling cost goes low. So that has been it for the engines of this particular unit. But of course, they come with also different trims based on the pooling of the car. We have the all-wheel drive, we have the two-wheel drive, and then of course we have the AWD, all the wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and the two-wheel drive. So based on the kind of work that you want to do with the Toyota Hiace base that I told you they're used for different purposes, you can actually get to know which one to use. If it's for school, two-wheel drive is actually way more better. If it's for tours, it is for tours and travel, a car that goes to the world in all the terrain areas. A four-wheel drive is actually more suitable for that kind of work. So why does the Kenyans love the Toyota Hiace this much? Sitting in this straight position, I might be a student coming from school. Sitting right over here, I might be a foreigner coming from my country and going to Masai Mara. Or even sitting right over here, I might be going to church because this might be a church van. This car has been loved over the years. First of all, one thing that has made this car lovable over the years, it is because of its reliability. I bet you this is a car that when you get inside, you will be 100% sure that whenever you start your journey to where you're aiming to get, it will always deliver. Second of all, the resale value of the car is very high. You drive this car 5 years, 5 good years, and of course the amount of money that you still sell the car is 100% completely very high, because more people still want to own the car. So if you bid your car, you want to sell it, you'll always get offers of people who want to really buy this car. Third of all, this car is actually very easily the spare parts are easily available. They are cars from Japan, and you know, cars from Japan in Kenya, they have dominated the Kenyan roads, because I mean it is a Hiace, but most of all a Toyota. So that is the reason as to why Kenyans have really loved this car. And to the fact that this car, you can have it as a school van when the school is closed, like this particular season. It can be a van that can ferry cargo. You can remove the seats, put them aside, have this ferry cargo. When the schools have reopened, you can bring it back. When people want to go to a wedding somewhere where it's quite a distance, they can hire your van, which is also still a school van. And you know, it is a multi-purpose van. That is what I'm trying to mean. So you can have multiple streams of income whenever you actually get to own this particular unit right over here. So based on what you decide to use your van on, what is the return on investment? This particular unit, the smaller one, can have a return on your investment from around 4,000 to a difference of up to 8,000 shillings every single day. So if you do that by 28, neglecting all the weekends, having that all the weekdays that the car is actually working on a single daily basis from around 4,000 to 8,000 Kenyan shillings, you already know how much money you can actually be making in a single daily basis. So the math is always depending. Will it be a van to ferry cargo? It all depends on the amount of money it will be earning. Well, will it be a van for ferrying people from Nairobi to Mombasa, a couch, long distance, or whatever route you may want to put it, based on how marketable that route is, or the circle that you are going to designate your car, depends with the return on your investment. But for sure, something I can tell you as an investor, if you're looking for to invest, this is one of those investments that we call a sure bet investment, because this van has so much that it can actually do, from a school van to a cargo van to a church van to, you know, anything, a church van, whatever you want to do it, you buy it, then decide. So driving this van is not just like driving any other vehicle with no safety features. Be it you are a paramedic ferrying a passenger from home to the hospital, driving an ambulance, be it you're the driver to that a matatu circle right over there. This car comes with so many safety features. First of all, SRS airbag. You get it right over here at the steering, be it you're the one driving right over here. In case you get involved in an accident, it pops up to prevent you from absorbing the impact. You have others here, you have others right over here. Safety belt is actually right over here, and of course when you look at the dash, you have so many lights that comes when you turn on this particular unit, just to tell you the kind of problems that the car might be, you know, what the car might want in terms of service. Be it a check engine, you can get a light to tell you that maybe your engine has some faults and needs to be checked or to be maintained regularly. So this is one of those cool units that you can actually buy it and then decide on what you may want to do it, because it has multi-purpose of choices. You can use it in whatever way you want based on the institution that you work for, famously called the Toyota Hiace. And with that all said, in Japan, I told you these cars have been nicknamed the car that never dies, because the owner retires and leaves this car still being a workhorse. So definitely that has been it to us, bringing to you the famously known Toyota Hiace history, from where it started to now that it has originated and dominated the Kenyan highways and roads at the same time. So what did you learn from this video? Do let us know in the comment section down below. You can also let us know which has been your most loved edition of the Toyota Hiace, from the H10 to the H300. So definitely that has been it. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get to be updated anytime you get to upload a new video every single daily basis. Anyway, that has been it for today. This is Terava, your trusted experts in reliable automotive value and affordability. And of course, what do? We sell cars. Our number is 0742597398. And for sure, sell these vans. We have so many of them up on sale. We have diesel, we have petrol, we have 7L, we have 9L, we have 18-seater, 14-seater. We have so many of them right over here up on sale. And the car is a deal. Alafu, the best thing about coming to Terava Adventure, you don't necessarily need to have the full amount of money for you to own the van with us. You can come with 60% to 50% the amount of the money, and then the remaining balance you can lipa pole through us organizing for you the best car financing option.